To be happy, we must not be too concerned with others. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Only he who attempts the absurd is capable of achieving the impossible. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear of the future. Life, if we're lived, is long enough. Take chances, make mistakes. That's how you grow. Pain nourishes your courage. You have to fail to practice being brave. A man who knows himself can step outside himself and watch his own reactions like an observer. If there's a single lesson that life teaches us, it's that wishing doesn't make it so. We are like chameleons. We take our hue with the color of our moral character from those who are around us. To be successful, you must act big, think big, and talk big. The trouble is, if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. The first thing you have to know is yourself. In every success story, you will find someone who has made a courageous decision. A very wise man once told me that you can't look back. You just have to put the past behind you and find something better in your future. You will never be able to experience everything, so please do poetical justice to your soul and simply experience yourself. A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. He is happy whose circumstances suit his temper, but he is more excellent who can suit his temper to his circumstance. Though nobody can go back and make a new beginning, anyone can start over and make a new ending. You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You will never live if you are looking for the meaning of life. The biggest lesson I had in my life was failure. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them, that only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. One of my biggest life lessons is, we heal at the speed of our forgiveness. With confidence, you have won before you have started. Hope is a good breakfast, but it is a bad supper. In order for the light to shine so brightly, the darkness must be present. Shortcuts make long delays. The most precious of all possessions is power over ourselves. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. People hasten to judge in order not to be judged themselves. Many of us go down a sad path when we let our egos make us suffer. In order to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience. There are no passengers on spaceship Earth. We are all crew. Never complain of that of which it is at all times in your power to rid yourself. Bad men need nothing more to compass their ends than that good men should look on and do nothing. Every fault made is another valuable lesson learned. Old cruelty springs from weakness. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And what they have planned for you is not much. If a man will begin with certainties, he shall end in doubts. But if he will be content to begin with doubts, he shall end in certainties. We fall in love when our imagination projects non-existent perfection upon another person. One day the fantasy evaporates, and with it love dies. Without work, all life goes rotten, but when work is soulless, life stifles and dies. Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. What worries you masters you. He who knows how to be poor knows everything. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires rather than attempting to satisfy them. Over the years, I've come to realize that mistakes are just lessons. Life lessons, almost like school. Once you've learned a lesson in class, you move on to the next lesson because now you know it. Well, mistakes are the same. There is no comparison between that which is lost by not succeeding and that which is lost by not trying. Problems worthy of attacks prove their worth by hitting back. It is impossible to love and be wise. Men want success and sex. Women want everything. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. But one of the big lessons I have learned from my journey is you can't please everyone, so don't try. In this life, when you deny someone an apology, you will remember it at the time you beg forgiveness. The more I learn that I have a lot more to learn. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. If there was any great lesson in life, it was this: no battle was ever won with silence.